boys and girls, and welcome to ROX TV. Here's another ROX Talks for you, and tonight we have got a thrash living legend. None other than Onslaught guitarist Nige Rockett. That's right, Nige Rockett will be here with us, talking about the new Onslaught album and the new single that's just been released called Bow Down to the Clowns, which is seriously fucking heavy. Anyway, let's hear from Nige about Onslaught and what's going on. And, I mean, I know that's, I ain't going to get creepy. We're both big fans of Onslaught ever since, In Search of Sanity days. So
cool. Excellent.
It's an honour to speak to you, mate. It really is. So ready to kick off?
Yeah.
Great stuff. So, Nige, I mean, Onslaught have been going a long time now. I mean, they are one of the older statesmen in the original sort of thrash bands that everybody knows. I mean, fuck the big four. I mean, you, it's real thrash. You never saw it out.
38 years, I think, going on.
38 years.
Madness.
But it goes to prove that you got the formula right in the first place.
Well, yeah, we had a little layoff, 91 to 2005, so there was a bit of a gap, but going strong now. So
well, there was the dark days of metal anyway.
Yeah, I think so, but yeah.
When we had the Cardigan Brigade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But thank goodness metal is back with a vengeance now. I mean, it's doing so well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're enjoying it more than I did the first time around, I think. It's just incredible. I mean, we've been back 15, 16 years now, so
yeah.
Cool.
You're obviously enjoying being back.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's totally different to the first time in the fact that the communication thing is so much easier. I mean, the early days we were kind of writing letters snail mail to South America, and it would take sort of 5 or 6 weeks to get there and come back with a reply, so it was pretty impossible to kind of do much business then, really. Yeah. But now it's so easy, and hence the amount of touring we do all around the world. So it's definitely a much better place for bands at the moment, I think.
It is easier. In some ways it's harder, in other ways it's easier, isn't it? With social media, you can plug yourself a lot easier. But
it's been a double-edged sword, really. I think with the internet. I mean, it took all the band's record sales away.
Yeah.
But it makes it easier for us to tour. So I guess it swings and roundabouts. Whereas we used to make money from CDs, and now we make money from touring. So it works.
The true fans still buy your albums anyway.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the streaming thing's a little bit frustrating, but I don't think there's nothing we can do about that. I know the labels are fighting against that, but don't seem to be getting anywhere. I mean, we're the latest song's over 500,000 streams, and you probably can get a few £100 on it, So
yeah,
if you're lucky.
Something really does have to be done, doesn't it, about how it's all worked out, because it's just not in the favour of the bands at all.
No, not at all. You see the figures that come through on our statements, it's like jaw-dropping. And it's even more jaw-dropping when you see the payment we get. It's criminal. It is bordering on criminal, really.
Yeah, and you don't get the thrill of seeing the album sales, do you? It's not the same buzz.
No, not at all. I mean, they're going back up, I've got to say, vinyls in particular.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think the downloading thing's so much of a bad deal as it used to be, but the sales just haven't really come back. I mean, we've figured out through discussions over the years that every band across the board has probably lost 90% of their sales from what they would in the 80s, So if you sold 1 million copies in the 80s, you're selling 100,000 albums now. So
yeah,
huge difference.
Talking of albums, the new album's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah. 2 weeks today.
With a very provocative title, Generation Antichrist.
Yeah.
Tell us what made you, I mean, I know you on your Facebook profile you describe yourself as Antichrist.
Yeah.
I mean, are you a Satanist?
No. I'm just anti-Christian, anti-religion.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to guess that my husband and I are Satanists, so
yeah, that's cool. But no, I mean, I hate religion, everything it stands for.
Yeah.
And on your side of things, I'm sure somebody looks over me on the right side. But yeah, some guy keeps popping up all the time with 3 6s all the way through for the last 30 odd years. It's really bizarre. I get some strange incidences, but the new album is I mean, I look at my kids in particular, and their friends, and they've no interest in religion. They don't even know what religion is. They've never seen
No.
a Bible. They don't get taught it at school. I mean, it started with me when I was a kid. My family were kind of religious, and I was made to go to church, made to sing hymns, made to say prayers, and that's what turned me against it in a big way,
Yeah.
And it's still the same. It's just all about manipulation all the time, and it's like, and then as I said, I look to my kids, and they, for me, they are now the generation of anti-Christians because they've no interest in it whatsoever, and it's only going to get less and less. Less religion as the years go on, 20, 30 years, who knows where it's going to be.
Well, at the end of the day, humans evolve, and it's in our nature. So is that the sort of what inspired you to call the name Generation Antichrist?
Yeah, pretty much about how I looked at my kids and that. So I mean, it's up to date. I mean, it's all the songs are relevant. I mean, we've only had I think 2 dodgy reviews on the album, which is incredible. The reviews have been amazing, but one guy he just took the album down. He said, "Oh, this is potentially album of the year," and then he said, "Oh, I read the lyrics and it's like so you can obviously tell where he's coming from, but he obviously didn't read the lyrics." And Generation Antichrist is basically questioning Christianity from the beginning. It's a series of contradictory questions in the verses. And religious suicide is kind of describing how religion's destroying itself. It's just self-imploding because of all the shit it deals with and what it does, and it's just what it says in the chorus, fucking itself up the ass, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if this guy couldn't get his head around it, he obviously didn't want to read it. He felt it was some kind of heavy metal satanic song when it's not. It's reality.
Yeah, some people can't just review things though impartially. They have to put their own sort of slant on things, which is a shame. Yeah, well, you've got a new single out as well. I've seen the video, which is fantastic. A Bow Down to the Clowns.
Yeah,
what's that about?
Very relevant at the moment.
Yeah,
I think.
Absolutely.
Very political. Yeah, so every time you see anything about the main 2 protagonists in all this nonsense that's going on around the world, they're always referred to as clowns,
Yeah.
Our very own Doris and the other guy across the water,
he with the strange hair.
Yes. So yeah, I mean it's bizarre because I obviously rewrote that song. I kind of completed November just as the coronavirus was really kicking in, but it seems to become more and more relevant as this thing goes on, especially what's been going on in the UK in particular last 2 years. I mean, we're just getting lied to left, right, and centre now. It's just gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just reading just now that now they've voted against saying that the NHS is safe now. So, I mean, how many times have you heard them say over the past year that the NHS is not up for offer?
Yeah, it's just bullshit.
And now they voted it down. So is it safe? No, probably not.
No, I don't think it is.
But yeah, that's basically about what's been going on governmentally in this country for the last 2 years, basically. Just lies and deceit. And they seem to get away with it. I don't know. Something's got to be done.
Yeah, and it's so typical of metal and thrash as well. That, bands do comment on the world rather than sing songs about bitches and riding in my Pinto sort of thing. I mean, it's stuff that's happening to people in real life.
Yeah, I mean, we've never been kind of political really in the past as such, but I think I just can't keep my mouth shut now. It's just got to the point. it just got to the point of I got to say something, and this song and is basically about what's been going on. Yes.
It's got to be said, and thanks for saying it.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue along this path on the next album. I think I quite enjoy it.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. You've got a new vocalist as well, haven't you, Dave Garnett?
Yeah, we have.
He seems to have brought it's a more modern edge, isn't it? To his sound.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it was a big worry when us and Si split. Si was a great vocalist, and obviously the frontman for Onslaught for many years. So it was a big worry. But Dave was on our doorstep all along, We've known him for many years. He's best buddies with James, our drummer. He stood in for Si a couple of shows. And it was there. As soon as the situation became clear what was going to happen with Si, and Dave had already done this festival in Sweden with us in February, we just got him to demo some tracks, a couple of tracks off the new album, and that was it. It was job done, basically. It was amazing. Yeah. But yeah, it was there. He's a massive Onslaught fan as well, which really helps. So
wow, yeah,
he was just like he put everything into it, and he's a very talented guy. So it's worked out incredibly well for us. But yeah, he brings a new energy into the band. We kind of gone backwards to go forwards, if you like, with this album. We've kind of looked at the last two albums, and they were kind of technical for Onslaught, lots of busy riffs and changes and layers and stuff. So we decided to strip things back. Looked at our early influences, looked at what we did in and around the Force album. And strangely, we just toured that album, the 30th anniversary tour, for 2 years before we recorded Generation Antichrist. So a lot of it kind of rubbed off on us. So we're just going backwards to kind of basics, if you like, with this album. But then Dave's brought a new energy to it, and Daniel Bergstrand's brought an immense aggressive production in. So I think it's got best of both worlds, old school Onslaught with a modern day Onslaught at the same time, and people are really picking up on that, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, there's a distinct difference. There's a difference with your playing as well. There's more, as you say, it's less the kind of widdly technical stuff, more down to heads down raw power, real grunt of a guitar, which is great to hear.
Well, I'd lost my writing partner for the last two albums. Obviously, Andy Rosser Davis is not in the band any longer, and we co-wrote those two albums. So that's obviously played a big part in that. I think Andy was quite an intricate player, and he brought that kind of thing into the band, But now he's gone. It's a bit more on my shoulders, a bit more pressure. But as I said, it's gone back to the roots, a bit more of a punky edge to it, a lot more open and raw. But it's worked.
Yeah,
and that was kind of what we planned at the beginning. We sat down and discussed what we were going to do, and it's come out perfectly exactly how we wanted it.
That's what matters. Are you playing drop tuned on some of them, because the sound drop tuned?
Yeah, well, I always play drop D anyway.
Yeah,
we have done now for many years, but I think two of the tracks, Bow Down to the Clowns and Empire's 4, drop C.
Sounds it,
so, yeah. It's nice. I mean, it does work very well. On the more the less faster songs, it works out a bit more open and a lot bigger, and it works well with Dave's voice as well, which is cool. So yeah,
it all slots in really well.
It just breaks up the album a little bit on the tunings, rather than everything being in the same key. So yeah.
I mean, I'm a guitarist myself, so I get EQ with this sort of thing.
It's a good spot.
So what gear are you using at the moment? Because you have got a great tone.
Yeah, live is two different things to studio. Live, I'm going through I got a Kemper rack profile thing, which is amazing. I'm using a 6505 PV profile within that, but then I'm still keeping it real. Rather than, I don't like DI, I hate DI. So if I've got an Engel 100 watt power amp, Valve power amp, which I put the Kemper into, so it's still got that valve-ness, but if we're flying abroad, Kemper in the hand luggage, and into a Marshall or an Engel or something, into the back of that FX loop, and it sounds incredible. So yeah, I mean, it's my go-to thing. Studio-wise on this album, we used the bizarrely enough, and it doesn't really notice a JCM 900 mixed with a PV 5150. So it's a combination of the 2 amps with the guitar tones on there into 2 Marshall 4x12s. So, and obviously a bit of Daniel Bergstrand magic. But yeah, I love the guitar tone on it. Yeah, it's great.
It is a crushing tone. It's really well done.
Yeah. I'm really pleased with it because it's so aggressive, but you can hear all the notes at the same time. It's really, really clear. It's got the clarity, you know.
It's not sort of clipped either. You know, so much production these days, the guitar is so clipped that it loses a lot of its intricacies.
Yeah. It's great dynamic sound. It really is.
Yeah, it's really good. We've got to talk about the virus and how it's affected everybody. I mean, has it affected Onslaught really badly?
Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that we've had some monster festivals cancelled this year. Wacken, Partisan, Bang Your Head. We had 2 festivals in the US and the countless others. So yeah, in that aspect, yeah, it's really hit us quite hard for the promotion of the album. But we decided to go ahead with the album, you know, instead of postpone. A lot of bands have postponed the albums. But we didn't. We didn't want to do that. We felt, as the shows are going to be cancelled, it's been 7 years since the last album anyway. We didn't want to delay it any longer. So we looked at it. Fans are going to want some new music. So let's get it out there. Let's get the jump on everybody else. I mean, we're trying to book shows for 2021 now. We've got all the festivals again next year that we were supposed to play this year. So that's good to look forward to. So all the bands are cancelled are going to probably be trying to release their albums later in the year at the same time and then try and book shows. But we're ahead of the game a little bit on that. Testament, Lamb of God put their albums out, so there must be some weight to it. And
yeah, I mean, you might as well, as you say, get the music out, because I mean, while people are in lockdown, they've got more time to check you out and have a look at. Yeah, I mean, we're good thinking. So your future plans obviously is the festivals next year.
Obviously we've got whether it's going to happen, Damnation Festival. Whether that's going to happen, I don't know.
No,
I wouldn't have thought so, but Doris says that concerts can go ahead from August, but no, I can't see it personally.
So he keeps changing his mind, and he's making it difficult for bands, for promoters, for venues. I mean, we've been hearing from a lot of venues that just don't know what to tell bands.
Well, exactly, and they're as I said, we're trying to book shows, but the promoters are still wary. They've got because nobody really knows when it's going to come back out. And the thing is, the financial implications of playing socially distant shows is
you're just not going to make the money, are you? Really?
No, because I mean, you're going to have to go into a 1,200, 1,500 capacity venue just to get 300 people in. So you've got all the overhead costs of the venue, the PAs, the lights, and for a venue that size for 300 people. So it's massive financial implications on it. And people don't realise that. All right, great, there's a gig going on, we can go, but think of the financial costs of the promoters, the venues, and the bands. And you know what will happen? It'll always hit back on the bands and say, well, you've got to take less money because of this. Which you can understand, but yeah.
And if there's a big spike in infections, again, the bands and the organisers are going to get it in the neck because, well, you insisted on doing this live show.
Exactly.
You can't win, really, can you, at the moment?
No, it's the same with all these masks. The rules has come in today. You've got to wear a mask to go and buy a cup of coffee, but you can go into a bar or a restaurant without a mask. What does that tell you? It doesn't. It's crazy.
It's just, I think he's got an ideas bucket. Gets pieces of paper in, and he just puts his hand in once a day and thinks, well, I think that one will work. We're all going to wear tea cozies for the rest of our lives.
It's madness.
Yeah, he is. He's a complete nut job. If you could give a piece of advice for a new band just starting out, what would it be?
Get your material right from day one.
Yeah.
I've always said that. I know when you start off a band, you just want the world to hear your music, or you just want to send it off to a record company, But you got to try and pull yourself back and not be so eager. Just get the songs right, even if it takes months and months and months of reworking a song and reworking a mix, because there's so much competition now.
Yeah.
You have to get it right, because if you don't get it right first time, that's your chance gone. So yeah, everything from the way you look, but the demo is the ultimate thing that has to be 1000% right, because if you sent me something and it didn't sound good, you wouldn't listen to, you wouldn't give it another
no,
chance.
we just can't, to be honest,
because this world's so disposable now, especially music world. You've got to get it right. So yeah, that would be my word of advice.
That which Onslaught did. I mean, you hit, you did it right first time.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot different back then. I mean, we got deals on just live shows more than anything. Yeah. So, but I guess that still happens nowadays. But to actually be shipping your material out or putting it up on Facebook, it's got to be bang on.
Yeah, absolutely. We do, at this stage in the conversations, we do a bit of fun now.
Right, okay.
And we call it Six Appeal.
Right.
It's a play on words, obviously. We ask 6 questions that we randomly choose, and some are sensible and some are just fucking stupid. So, sensible one first. This one's mine. What's your favourite guitar effects unit?
Well, I've got to say the Kemper Profiler.
You love it, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's amazing, incredible piece of kit. Yeah, I mean, it's so small, it fits in my hand luggage, and it goes anywhere and sounds the same every night. Amazing.
They are amazing. I've been to a few gigs, and you're looking for the rack of amps at the back, and there's this little Kemper buzzing away, and you just think that is awesome.
Everybody's using it now. Everybody.
Yeah. So, why not?
Yeah. I mean, it's easy. That's the thing. I mean, you can't take your favorite amp head across the world, would you? Not, well, you can, but it's probably going to get damaged or cost you a fortune to ship around. So now Kemper wins every time.
Absolutely. There's a stupid one: fish or fowl?
Oh, I love both. I'd have to go fowl, I think. I love my Indian food, so
it's got to be chicken then, really.
Always with chicken in it, yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Does Bigfoot exist?
No.
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 If he does, he'll need very large shoes.
Yeah, I think so. You can get those big furry things that are like his anyway. So, but
that's true.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No, I would say no.
Okay, sensible answer. What's been your most favourite concert ever? It could be yours or it could be another band's. But which one really stands out in your mind?
Ooh. One. Well, we've been lucky enough to play so many memorable ones.
Yeah.
But I think one of two. It was either on the Motorhead tour we did in 1987. We played Naples in Italy, which was 8,000 people in a tent. And this was really our kind of first introduction to the big time, so that kind of sticks in my head a lot. And we done a number on Motorhead that night. But Lemmy think Harry, he came off stage and said, "Guys, that was absolutely amazing." It's like, get back on stage now. It's like, but
you're such a gent. So
yeah. It was either that or Bang Your Head Festival. The first time we played, there was like 18,000 people there, and I fell flat on my ass. So it's going to be one of those two.
Chili flavored ice cream, yes or no?
No.
Yeah,
I love chili and I love ice cream, but not together.
No. Have the ice cream after.
I don't even like the Indian ice cream.
No, it's weird. It's just
it's because it's got that little bit of spice to it as well. But no, it doesn't work for me.
No, leave ice cream well alone.
Yeah,
is that our political stance?
Yeah, definitely.
What's been the loudest gig you've ever been to? Which one
Oh,
really
well,
made your ears ring?
no, that's Motorhead without a doubt.
Gotta be, hasn't it?
Because the show actually got shut down. I think it was in a place called Poperinga in Belgium. And I was talking to their sound guy. He said, "Nige, come over here." When they were sound checking, he stood in front of the PA with a dB meter, and it was 138 decibels. And my stomach was churning. It was like painful. But that wasn't the worst thing. He said, where Lemmy stands, the loudest he ever recorded, where Lemmy was on stage, was 154. Oh. It's like imagine that. But yeah, it's insanely loud. I mean, there's like madness levels. But they did have a lot of problems on that tour because they were really cranking it up on a lot of shows, and it was hard for a lot of shows. You were outside and people would be leaving because it was so loud.
That made my husband's ears bleed twice. So yeah,
I'd rather have it too loud than too quiet. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely the one.
Fair. That's not now surprised you said Motorhead, to be honest.
I'm full of Motorhead stories.
Yeah. Nige, it's been an honour and an absolute pleasure talking to you. We wish you the very best of luck with Generation Antichrist and whatever happens tour-wise next year. Good luck, mate.
Yeah, try and catch us sometime if we
certainly will.
Get back on the road, and I shall speak to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Nigel.
All right, my pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Have a nice weekend.
And you, my love.
Roll on to the land of the free, with orders to
Bye.